So students, today we have a continuation part of our previous lecture, that is the dysentery. In the previous lecture, we have discussed introduction to dysentery with the help of some examples, and we have taken the real life example by which we have seen the what is the dysentery. Today's class, what we have to see. In today's class, we will see the how to build a dysentery followed by an algorithm. And what is the name of the algorithm? I will tell you. And what is the concept which is required to implement, or what is the concept or two terms by which we can follow the designed algorithm, that is the ID3 algorithm. So from this perspective, from this point, we have to start this topic, that is the building a dysentery. Before discussing anything, I suggest to all the students, please keep at least one paper and pencil for solving any problem. Whenever I need to ask any point, then you can easily tell. So along with me, if you try to solve the problem, definitely your learning will be fruitful. So I suggest to all the students right now, keep paper and pencil and listen the term properly. So building a dysentery is basically a more important point for the tutorial part. So tutorial and other things I will share most probably within 2 days. So you can do the practice, and you can, after doing the practice, write the answer on the sheet, scan and submit by the MS team. So definitely we have done our tutorial part. So my objective is to provide the learning only. My objective is not to focus on the mark. My objective always to give the better learning. So at the time of the examination, you can write the answer properly. So that is my objective. So from these words, I'm like going to start our lecture, that is building a dysentery. So before just moving to the building part of the dysentery, let us just have a quick revised part of the dysentery. What is it actually? So dysentery is basically a tree-based supervised learning method, and that is used to predict the outcome based on the target variables. So that part we have already discussed. And a supervised learning algorithm basically represented as a supervised. So definitely we have this name over here, supervised learning. In the supervised learning, we have seen the many algorithms like the regression, and in the regression we have seen the various flavor of the regression. One is a linear, multiple linear, and a polynomial, and other thing part, that is a least square method. So unlike these methods, we have a decision tree. Dysentery itself is a very important algorithm or concept, we can say, in the supervised learning, because it supports the both nature of the data. What is the meaning of that point? This is the meaning of here. We have the dysentery we can design by the two way. One is by using the continuous nature of the data. At a time we have a dysentery with a regressor. When we have the data, that is a categorical data, so at a time we have the term dysentery classifier. So having seen the various articles, having seen the various notes, I found dysentery regressor is not much useful, but most of the time most of the people will like to work on the dysentery classifier. So when you try to search anything over the internet, then you can easily find that dysentery classifier is much popular than the dysentery regressor. But something is depend on the data set, or something is depend on the problem, so we have to do. Suppose in the regression approach, or by using regression approach, we have to represent our outcomes and from the dysentery. At a time, dysentery regression will be applicable. So that is the point you have to understand. From this point, we have to understand the dysentery. So I suggest to all the students, please, whenever you try to solve the problem for the classification problem, so you can use a various option. But dysentery classifier is a one of the that part. And dysentery regressor and dysentery classifier will be applicable while discussing the random forest. Random forest classifier we will see. Random forest regression we will also see. So that is an important point. That is a part of the supervised learning. So supervised learning is not a 2 days or 3 days or 5 days class. It is a very huge topic in which we have the many algorithm, many technique by which we can solve the problem. So let us move to the next part, which describe the thing properly. So I'm taking the one more example over here to just revise your idea about the dysentery. Here we have a set of the animals that is followed by the giraffe, elephant, tiger, monkey. Okay, so we have these set of the elements of our animals. So I need to divide our these set of the element based on the features. So color is yellow, I'm choosing here. So based on the color feature, I'm just dividing, or I'm just classify my set of the animal into two parts. One is based on the color, that is yellow. If it is true, then all the animal will go into the left side. That is the point you people must be keep in mind when we have any outcome that is following by the true, that come into the left side only, and the false based outcome will come to the right side. That is the simple meaning you have to understand. That's the only logic only. So we found that color that is belong to the yellow. We have so here giraffe and tigers are that belong to the approximate color yellow. So they are come into the true part. So that is followed by the left side only. And right side we are getting the elephant that is approx blue color we can say, and just brown color we have a monkey. So both are not belong to the yellow color. Now, our bifurcation or our division is not ended over here. Here we are finding that in the giraffe and tiger, we found that we have the two mixed kind of the data. One is a giraffe and one is tiger. So how to categorize this data, how to classify this data? It is very simple example. We have to choose another feature, and that is known as the height. So we are assuming that that is the height, suppose we have the 10 feet. So suppose we have the height 10 feet minimum, then we can say the, if it is true, then it come into the left side, so that would be the giraffe. If height is false, then the animal will be the our tiger. So we can dividing, we can classify the, or we can take the thing properly. So what we are doing with help of the features, height and color, at each and every level of the tree, we have the some nodes. These nodes are known as the decision node. If you remember the decision tree diagram, then please keep in mind the point properly. Now come to the point of this elephant and monkey part. So when we are just used to height, because at the same level we have taken the height feature. So let us move to the right part. Then we are observing the animal height is less than 10. So if it is true, then this animal will be considered into the monkey. If animal height is greater than 10 feet, we can say. So we can say that would be control come into the elephant. So what we are observing, we are creating the decision tree based on the selecting the features. These features are also known as the attribute. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what is the big question we have? How to select the best features and how to select the best attribute to split your data set into the different parts. That is a big question we have. From this point, from this question, we have to understand our today's class. That is a point. So that's why I have taken this part as a revised person. Revised purpose. Some student asked me question, sir. Sir, I heard and you told me many times decision tree with the regression is also possible, decision tree with the classification also possible. So I am giving this name over here, CART. CART, you can read out the various places and while learning the machine learning. So if you're reading the machine learning over the from the internet resources or in the various books, their term is written CART. So what is CART? CART stands for classification and regression technique. So CART means CART is basically, I'm speaking the short way, CART. So CART is a simple method which describes, that is the method which is supported by the both approaches. And what are the both approaches? Regression and classification. So if I'm having the classification, then I will say I am using the decision tree based on the classification data or classified data. If I'm using the regression, then I'm using the decision tree. So ultimate, what is the base algorithm we have? We have the base algorithm, that is a decision tree. So decision tree with classification I can use, decision tree with the regression I can use. So such time decision tree is known as a CART. So CART is basically as a method which describes that if any algorithm that support the both approaches, classification and regression, that is come into the CART method. That is the point you people are required to understand. So to remove the curiosity of the student, so I have explained this slide over here. So regression, in the regression, what we have observed, we have decided the two important variable. One is a dependent variable, independent variable, and what we our objective would aim to predict our outcome. So that is the point. But in the case of the regression, if we need to analyze the model and if we need to measure the performance of the model, so what we have, that we have MSE that is known as the mean square error, mean absolute error, and root mean square error are the various parameters by which we can evaluate our model. Now come to the point of the classification. So far we have not touched the classification in detailed manner because so far we have seen only the regression approaches: linear, multiple, polynomial, and least square method. So on that part we have seen the MSA only. But now come to the point classification. If you try to solve the problem that is recently with the classification, so what is the point? So we have to choose a data based on the classified data. So here we can take the data formation like the yes or no, 1, 0, true, false. That is only meaning of the thing we have to understand. So based on the Boolean nature of the data we can take, or we can have the multiple classification data, just like the gender. So gender of the person can be the male and female, and now we can put that another category. So okay, the person who is not belong to the male and female gender, but he has a different transgender, we can consider. So we can classify the data in the way 3 parts. One is the male, female, and transgender. So definitely we have to classify the data. So this data comes into the classification only. In this case, or in this kind of the classification nature of data, what we have to measure the model by the accuracy. What is the accuracy of the model? So definitely based on our model, based on our information, our model evaluation parameter will also require to change. So accuracy would be 1, precision would be 1, recall would be 1. So these are the 3 basics parameter by which we can evaluate the model. So please keep in mind while discussing the other algorithm of the classifications and regression. Regression we have almost completed, except to the logistic regression. Logistic regression is a kind of the regression, but that is under come into the classification. That is the only difference that we have to see. So regressions in which we have to use the data of the continuous manner, we have seen least square method, we have seen linear, we have seen polynomial and multiple. That is enough only. But now we have to move into the classification part. So we have the dysentery classifier. So we will see the dysentery classification with help of the practical. So that is the important thing we have to understand. So now in the examination, if or at the time of the interview, if anyone will ask the question, what is the CART? Then you have to understand CRT stands for the classification and regression technique. Now, with this slide, the concept is clear. Is it clear? Or the example of this CRT method, that is the dysentery, is the best example. Now, is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts so far, student? You have, so please you can ask me right now.
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay, good. So now we have to come the point, our important point, that is building a dysentery. So if I'm speaking building a dysentery, so what is the algorithm by which we can create? So dysentery for building purpose, we can say building a dysentery by using the ID3 algorithm. This ID3 algorithm is especially used for the dysentery classification. So that's why we have the ID3 algorithm. So as per our syllabus, okay, I'm not touching the other algorithm, I'm touching only the such algorithm which is mentioned in our syllabus only. So building a dysentery using the ID3 algorithm we can do. So this is especially used for the classification purpose. So although there are many different or many algorithms by which you can build the tree or dysentery, of course, but ID3 is best to define the thing properly, and it is the simplest algorithm which describes all the steps in simple way. So that's why ID3 algorithm is much popular compared by the others algorithm. But this is especially used for the classification. So what is the ID3 algorithm? Its name as suggest ID3. So ID3 is definitely version. So ID stands for the iterative dichotomizer. So the full form of the ID3 algorithm is iterative dichotomizer algorithm, and that is one of the most important or very efficient algorithm that is used to design the dysentery in simple way. And in the ID3 algorithm, there are 2 important concepts are required to build the dysentery, that is the entropy and information gain. So in the ID3, what is the role of the entropy and information gain? Definitely we will see this part, but step by step I will ask the question. So any doubt in this slide you have, or is it clear to all right now? Tell me. Is it clear? or any doubt so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's
It's
clear.
clear.
Yeah, yes, tell me right now.
So what is the meaning of dichotomizer?
Dichotomizer, see, definitely is saying to us if we're looking for the any different algorithm or different over the internet. So dichotomizer is saying to us what is the attribute we are selecting in the machine learning approach. So the all the features, all the algorithm, all the attributes are important, but you have to select the best features based on the some finding the impurity part and some important rows on which we can do. So dichotomizer means just filtering the information. In dichotomizer, you can see that is the filtering the data, and you are choosing the after filtering the data, you are selecting the appropriate or meaningful information to split your information. So dichotomizer in concise way we can say to select the
Features.
best feature selection along after that so splitting will be decided. So splitting will be done on the based on the best selecting the features. Yes, tell me right now. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So iterative dichotomizer means we have to select the best feature, but it is iterative. So this process will not end it here. Now, how we can say it is iterative? Just look at the our few minutes ago example. First, what is the feature you're selecting? Color feature. Now, after that, you have selected one feature. Now you have split your data with based on the color. Now, next you are moving to the height feature. So you are selecting the another best feature by which you can divide your data, or you can split your data. So that is the minimum. Okay, so now this slide is clear to you right now.
Yes, sir.
I'm speaking once
Yes,
again.
sir.
I'm speaking once again. ID3 is the name of the algorithm that is used to build the decision tree. But in the ID3 algorithm, we have a two terms that is the entropy and information gain. So next question we must have what is entropy and information gain? I will see. Okay, and we will see, and I will tell you the thing properly. Okay, so after clearing this, let us move to the ID3 algorithm. What is the ID3 algorithm? So I did not remove any content over here, which is mentioned on the slide. I'm using the same content, same slide over here. So whatever I'm discussing with my all the students with the along with the different slots, I keep as it is into the my slide. So I will not remove any content. So that is the only meaning of the every time we will discuss the same PPT. So from the ID3, what we are observing, ID3 is saying to have the is saying to us in the various steps. One is the selecting the best feature or best attribute. Now we have a question, sir. We are selecting the best attribute. So what is the parameter by which you are selecting? That is a big question. This is not an easy question. This is not a simple question. This is a very huge question, and that question should be clear. So we are selecting the best attribute, but these best attribute will be selected by the two important concept that is entropy and information gain. Actually, what happened in the best attribute will be selected by the information gain. So after selecting before selecting the attribute, you have to determine the information gain. But information gain cannot be calculated without the entropy. So these are the two parameters I can say directly. Entropy and information gain are the two important parameters which decide to select the best attribute. Now, next, assign A to what is assign A? A is what? That is the best attribute as a decision variable for the root node. So, few seconds ago you have seen, or a few minutes ago you have seen, we are selecting the best attribute that is feature. So, based on the feature, you are dividing or splitting your data into two parts. One is the yellow color and non-yellow color. And now at the time your root node becomes the decision node. So you are applying a condition that is a feature should be color, you should be yellow. That is our feature. So now we are splitting our data. Now this process will be applied to the its descendant part, and this process will go on until we get the or we classify the data properly. So assign the classification label to the leaf node, and this is a iterative process. So this is the iterative process will go on until we get the data into the proper classified information. And that is the meaning of the decision tree. So we have a 6 steps over here. Just remember these 6 steps. You can write your own way with these 6 steps, no issue, but the concept should be meaningful. So this is just a step which is followed by the ID3 algorithm. So we can say, okay, the ID3 algorithm is very easy, we can do, but practically and with the real life, it is not easy to implement the ID3 algorithm. That is the meaning. It is not easy because for implementing the ID3 algorithm, first you must be known to the what is the entropy and what is the information gain. Okay, so this is the 6 steps which are written in front of you, and you can see now. Tell me any doubt so far. So we can start our next step or next topic. But before that, we must understand what is the meaning of the ID3 algorithm. Now, is it clear to all right now? Yes, tell me any doubt.
No, sir.
Okay. So what is the working of the decision tree model? Decision tree working model is again important point. So you can keep in mind this model. It seems to us very tough model. We are not able to understand. We are not able to keep in mind. Just listen to my words, and definitely this model diagram will be in your mind after listening to my words. Now, what is the first point? We are just remembering the steps which is written into the previous slide. That is the ID3 algorithm. We have a data. We are selecting our data in two parts. One is the training data, and another one is testing data. And this is a normal process. So now we have our data. We have decided the objectives. So now we are building our data. Now we are preparing the data. Now after preparing the data, what is the next step? You have to build the model. Before building the model, what is the step? We have to categorize the data into two parts. That is training data and testing data. So the training data will be associated with our decision tree generation part. That is a working, or that is a structure of our model from where we can incorporate the data. So while building our model, that is decision tree, so what is the internal steps? First step is saying to us, you have to select the best attribute using the ASM. ASM is not a specific tool. That is only decided you are using the attribute selection measurement. So you are selecting the best attribute based on the ASM, that is attribute selection measurement. But how we can measure? By using the information gain, and others are the Gini index and Gini ratio. So as per our syllabus, as per our ID3 algorithm, we will use only the information gain, that is sufficient. And for calculating the information gain, you must have the value of the entropy. It is just like the simple formula. If you remember, while putting the or while getting the value of the y, what we must have the m value, so value, and we must have the x value, and we must have the c value. So it is just like to here over here. So if you need to calculate the y, you must have the m value. So definitely it is just simple case. If you need to calculate the information again, then you must have the value of the entropy. That is my meaning. So first step is saying to is in the decision tree generation, selecting the best attribute by choosing the ASM method, that is the information again you can take. And after that, you can break the data set. You can break your data into the smaller subset. Just like example, dividing your set of the animal into the two parts based on the color feature, and now dividing your set of the animals at the next level based on the height. So definitely what we are choosing the features by which we are dividing our information. Now, this is a recursive process. So you can see the arrow symbol, which is again back to the selecting the best attribute, next best attribute. So recursively repeat the process for each child. We have to do this one. After that, this model is generated. Now we have selected all the features. Now our data is classified properly. So now it is time to evaluate our model. We need to check the performance of the model. What is the accuracy of the model? What is the precision? What is the recall? These are the different parameters, unlike the MSC we have seen in the regression. So we have to choose any one of the feature or any one of the performance measurement criteria by which we can do. So performance measurement criteria, we can take the accuracy, recall, and precision. And don't worry, I will tell you the accuracy, precision, recall, all these formula, everything I will tell you with help of the practical part. So the information you can easily see with the real example. So with the help of the testing data, we have to do this thing. Because as per our ML process diagram, after building the model, we need to test the model, we need to predict the data. So what is the information you must have? you must have the testing data. So testing data will be associated with our model evaluation part. Okay, so that is the simplest step. So inspired from the machine learning process, we are understanding this part and nothing else especially. Now, I hope this example, now this PPT, this slide, which contain the working of the decentralized model, describe the perfectly. I hope it is clear to all right now. Yes, tell me right now. Any doubt over here? Whatever we have seen the previous part, that is only the our diagrammatically we are seeing over here only, nothing else especially. Okay, tell me right now any doubts so far, students? You have, if you have, so please you can tell me. Anyone who have? Okay, good, great. So let us move to the next part. That is the first step in this algorithm to state that we must to select the best attribute. What does that mean? It is saying to us a best attribute or the predictor variable we have to choose to separate or to split our data into the different classes. Yes, of course, in our example, what are the classes? Based on the color features, we are having the giraffe class, we are having the tiger class, we are having the elephant class, and we are having the monkey class, because now we have the 4 classes, and with the help of these classes we can identify the our data. It is just like example of the male and female student who are sitting in front of the in the class. So I can categorize the student based on their gender. So one left side, the student those who belong to the male category, they come to the left side, and rest of the student those who belong to the female category, they have to come on the right side. So what is the parameter? What is the feature I'm choosing? I'm choosing the feature that is gender. So I have the 2 class. One is a male students class, another one is a female students class. So same we have over here in the example, giraffe class and monkey class, elephant class, and tiger class. So this is the point we have to do. So this is the next question we must have, and we have already discussed many times. How do I decide which variable or feature that is used to split the data as a best? So here we have the 2 measurements. We have the 2 measurement criteria by which we can do. One is information gain, and next one is entropy. So I'm speaking once again to all the people. Just please listen. Entropy required to calculate first, and then you have to calculate the information gain. Okay. Now, is it clear to all right now? Then we will discuss what is entropy. So far, any doubt you have? So please tell me right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us discuss this point, very important point. Now just open your eyes and just listen properly. Just open your ears as well, and just use your mind to understand the concept properly right now. From this point, you are not allowed to skip any steps. So first step we have, that is entropy. Entropy is what actually? In our data, we have the many data, because we are not dealing with the 1 or 2 data. We are not talking about the 10 or 20 data only. But when we have the huge volume of data set or huge volume of data, then this is a big question. There is no guarantee the data we have that is having by the pure data. It can have the impure data. So in our data, we can have the some uncertainties and impurities. So impurities and uncertainties are required to measure by the method that is known as entropy. So entropy is used to measure the impurity or uncertainty in our data, and it is used to decide how a decision tree can be split the data. So equation of the entropy, we have entropy is equal to negative minus symbol, and summation of the px log px. X is the our variable, that is the point we have to choose. I'm speaking once again, entropy is equal to minus summation of the px log px. Because why we are using the summation? Because we are not talking about the one features or one data. We can have the different type of the data on which we have to do. So how many type of the data we have? So based on the data, we have to determine the p. That is, p stands for the probability. So p is the probability by which we have to solve this problem. So this equation you have to understand in your mind. You have to keep in mind properly, and step by step I will tell you. So just tell me right now, the entropy step is clear to right now? The calculation I will show you, but before that, the fundamental step is clear to all right now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is entropy? Entropy means we're talking about the impurity in the uncertainty and as well as the uncertainty in our data. So we have to measure these 2 points, and that is simple equation: summation of the negative minus summation of the px and to log px. Look at this example. I'm taking the simplest example so the information will be clear to all. So play golf is our features by which I'm just dividing my data 2 parts. One is a yes and no. So yes and no are my our parameter by which I'm deciding. So if I have the yes, then total I'm getting the 9. So 9% or 9% are ready to play the golf, and but rest of the people, 5 people are not ready to play the golf. So total we can say total we have the 14. So when we have the total 14, so if I need to write the entropy, so how I can write entropy play golf? So what is the feature? We have the play golf. So entropy play golf equal to entropy 5,9. So 5,9 I can put, or 9,5 I can put, doesn't mean. Whatever you want to write as a first, it doesn't mean. So I can write the entropy 5,9 or I can write the entropy 9,5. It doesn't mean we are having the same sense. So entropy we are getting the 0.36, 0.64. Sir, in the previous statement you have written the 5,9, but how it is coming into the 0.636 and 0.64? I did nothing because based on the total values, I divided the values by the 14. So what is the probability? What is the probability of the yes? 9 by 14. What is the probability of the no? 5 by 14. So I can use like this value. So I'm getting the 0.36, 0.64. 0.36 we have. So what is the value I can put? 0.36 into log base 2. Log base 2 0.36. So what is the formula? P into log P, that summation of the P log into P into log P, and we have to use the minus symbol, and that is the point you have to understand. And again I have to use a next, I have to use the minus symbol because I need to do the summation of the all the values which are coming to use, or which is used to split the my data based on the features requirement portion. So next I have to go for the 0.64 into log 2 0.64. So I'm getting this value. After evaluating this value, I am getting the 0.94. That is my entropy value of the play goal feature. Now, is it clear to all right now? Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And yeah, in the tutorial, don't worry, I will share some question. You have to do some practice. Very simple question will be there, and these questions will motivate you in the exam time to solve the questions. Okay, so step by step you have to understand. Any doubt so far in the calculation? Let me show the my calculation I did in the previous slide as well. So this is the calculation. So tell me right now, any doubt so far?
Sir, how are we choosing a play golf attribute?
So this would be given in the question. So you are not allowed to choose. If it is not given, then you have to assume. If it is not given, then you have to assume, and you can solve the problem based on your assumption. No issue. But
So,
you have to, yes, but you have to apply the formula correct to calculate the thing. Yes, tell me.
So, sir, we are using play golf attribute to find the best attribute, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So play golf, it would be the best attribute or not a best attribute. So we have to decide this thing with the help of the information gain. I'm speaking once again. This will be used to decide this would be the best attribute or not. So we have to use to calculate the information gain. So, but here I'm just taking the chunk of the, or the small part of the, a small portion of the our features by which we need to understand how to calculate the entropy only. But with the help of the example, I will tell you everything. So the example will clear and clear the concept and how to calculate the information gain. So before calculating the information gain, just let me inform you all how to calculate the entropy. That is the method. So is it clear to all right now how we are calculating the entropy by our formula minus summation of the P into log P? Is it clear to all right now?
So we have to remember the
Yes,
few
sir.
log values.
Yes, sir. At the time of the examination, you can use the scientific calculator to do the calculation. There will be no issue.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you can use the scientific calculators to calculate the values. There will be no issue. And you know how to calculate, how to determine the value from the calculator of the log 2. Okay, so now let us move to the next part. So based on the student's requirement, student asked me questions, sir, can you explain the thing with the help of another example? So before moving to determine the information gain, I have taken the as a random example in front of the students. It's just random data I have taken. So what is my data? My data is coming over here, rain. So total we have the 5 people. Out of the 5 people, 2 people are saying rain will be. There are some chance rain could be, and 3 people are saying no, there are very no chance the rain will not be. So I'm categorizing my data two parts. One is the rain. Rain is my root node, we can say, and I'm dividing my information based on my features. That is a rain would be or rain would not be. So I'm using the yes or no. So if true or yes is coming, so if I putting my data on the right side. So you can see on the left side diagram, you can see just I can keep the question in the box. See, I'm putting this questions what we have to ask, and I have put it into the box. Now, next we have to determine the entropy of the rain. So entropy of the rain, this is our question. So what is the probability of the rain when we have the y? So probability of the rain, we have to determine the 2 by 5 is equal to 0.4. Is it clear to all right now? Probability of the rain on the y, we are getting the 2 by 5 is equal to 0.4. Yes, is it clear to all right now?
Yes.
And out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this
No,
is clear.
sir.
And the probability of the rain based on the n parameter, we are getting the 3 by 5, so we are getting 0.6. This is the probability we got it. Let us calculate the entropy of the rain. So what is the formula? Is it written over here? So we have calculated this part, so I'm putting into the other box. Now in the next part, what we have to do is what we have to see? We have to see the calculation of the entropy of the rain. So entropy of the rain will be minus 0.44 into log 2 0.4 minus log 0.6 into log 2 0.6. And based on this calculation, I have already written the calculated values. So I'm getting the values of the E rain, that is entropy of the rain, 0.966. 0.96. That is the point. So what is the our result is coming over here, and what is the result of information is saying to us? It is saying to us, if we are getting the entropy 0, if we are getting the entropy 0, it means no splitting is required. But when we have the some value which is more than the 0, so we need to determine the splitting would be possible or not. So here we are getting the our value 0.966. It means we are close to the 1. So splitting is required. So we need to split our data. Okay, so but we have already split the data. So is it clear to all right now? So this is the entropy of the rain we are getting. So we got our answer. Is it clear to all right now? Are any doubts so far?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay. So now that is a big question. How to select the best split in the decision tree using the information gain? That is the question we have to understand. Now I'm speaking the once again this question, how to select the best split in the decision tree using the information gain. So now it's time to calculate the information gain. So before calculating the information gain, if entropy is clear, then we can understand this point. So to understand this concept, how to select the best fit part in the decision tree using the information gain, we have an example by which we can see. So step by step, and with the help of the images, I will show them my example. And whenever you have any doubt, so you can ask me. Now, consider these three different nodes: node 1, node 2, node 3. And you can easily see, yes, you can easily see in these three nodes, node 1 we have, node 2 we have, and node 3 we have. In these three nodes, the some data we have the plus minus plus minus. So what it is showing to us? Negative is saying to us we have the some purity, we have in some purity. So you can see the node 3 basically is a pure Y, because all data are positive. Okay, it contains all the data of the one class only. The positive negative means we're talking about the one class. But in node 1 and node 2 are representing the data mixed data. It means there are some chance we can have the impure data. So node 2 is basically less pure, and node 1 is most impure node out of these three nodes. So what is the, or which one is a pure node? We can say node 3, and then node 2 is okay, we have the some data, but node 1 is impure data, which is having the more impure data. Okay, so what is the percentage of distribution in the node 1? We can say node 1, we can say in this node 1 we have the 6 1 2 3 4 5 negative point and 5 positive. So in this case node 1 we have the 50%. Okay, 50% data is pure, 50% data is impure. And node 1 we can say we have to determine out of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So out of the 10 data we have the data impure or pure. So we can easily see some data 20% we can say, or positive we are talking about the pure. So if we're talking about the pure, then we can say so 20% is pure in the node 2, while we can say impure data we have the 80%. So node 2 will be the high, but in the node 2 what we are observing, negative points means it is high, but plus we can say, or the positive point we are having the less. So we can say the impure we have the approx 20%. So based on our data we can easily determine what is the impurity or what is the purity. So on this example, we can say node 3 is just not having any impure data, while node 1 has the less impure data, and node 1 also having the 50% impure data. So that is the point from which we can easily determine. Now, this example is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us move to the next part. Yeah, yes, tell me.
Sir, node 1 will require more information as compared to means.
See, you can just assume over here all the positive point we have. It may see though no mixed kind of the data in the node 3 we have, but node 1 we have the 50-50%. So we can say this is not a pure data. And why we are having, because here the 50-50% means 50% could be the pure, 50% could be impure. But in node 1 we are having the same kind of data. How many percentage we have? Same kind of data we have the 80% in the node 1, node 2. Because negative data is coming the 80, so 80% we can say. So which data, 20% data is not matching with this data. So here in node 2 we have the 20% of our impure data. That is the point. See, it is very simple concept. When we have the same kind of data, so classification will not be required. Classification or our splitting the data is applicable when we have the mixed kind of the data. So which the feature you want to select to split your data. So that is the understanding of the decision tree. And in this case, we have the entropy, and then we have the information gain. So before moving to information gains, let us understand what is the data we have and it is required to split or not. So node 3 data, we have no splitting required. Do you really think the splitting in the node 3 is required? Not required, because all data belong to same class. That is the point. Now clear right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So this is only just describing way. Node 3 is just having the minimum no impure data, but node 2 just have the less impure, but node 1 also having the high impure data compared to the other one. This is only the comparison steps. So information required to describe the node in terms of the impure. So that is the point. So what we are giving over here, I'm speaking the some statement from the written material. It is leading to the less homogeneous node compared to the splitting on the left, and which is into produce the completing homogeneous node. So first, you can see that there are two diagrams which describe that you are dividing the diagram into two parts. One is a homogeneous nature base. So you can split the data with the help of the homogeneous nature base. But what you can infer that, what can you infer from that? Splitting on the right is given to the less information gain. So we can say that the higher information gain leads to more homogeneous or pure nodes. So the information gain can be calculated like this one. In the other example, in the second example, what we are giving over here, see what actually what we are doing. So let me explain with the help of my point so you can easily understand. In this case, we are dividing the data based on the homogeneous based on the homogeneous. So based on the homogeneous data, you are classifying the data, so we can easily see. But there is no guarantee every time your data will be classified by the homogeneous nature base. So if we have the mixed kind of data, we classify the data depend on the features. So if you depend on the feature, if data is not classified based on the homogeneous, then what happens at that time? You have to identify the thing. Here we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See here, how many 6 positive we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we have the 8 positive. Comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 negative. It means in this case you have to determine out of the 14, 6 is our negative. So out of the 14 you have to identify this is the percentage we have to calculate of the impure data. And here you have to identify that is the we have the negative, we have the how many times 3 times negative we have, and 2 times is positive. So with this point you have to determine the impure data what we have. So the percentage out of the 40, so here approx we can say 40% we have. This is a 40% impure data we have. In this case we have to determine the 14. So 6 divided by 14, that is impure we have. So approx something like approx I can say the 1, 2, 3, 30 and 35% something. I'm not exactly, but approx 35% impure data we have. 35%. I'm just calculating the randomly data, so I'm just speaking the 35% impure data we have. So definitely we have to classify the data based on the features like two ways. You can choose a homogeneous, or you cannot. But every time you are not choosing you are not classifying the data homogeneous nature based. So at the time you have to calculate the impurity. In this case, we have the 0% impurity. In this case, we have the 0% impurity. Because data are classified based on the features, so we have the homogeneous nature based data over here. So definitely from this point we have to understand. And what is the formula of information gain? So information gain we have to determine, because our calculation will not be ended by the entropy only. So what is the point you can have to use? You have to use this formula. Information gain will be the 1 minus entropy. So what is entropy we are getting, and we have to calculate the entropy information gain. So this is a simple formula you have to understand. Yes, tell me right now. This step is clear?
Sir, for both the blocks, we have to find separate entropy and then put it in the formula.
No, see, this is just classified. First data is classified based on the, suppose there is some feature. It is just like example. at the first time I'm applying the gender feature on the student, so I'm categorizing the I'm categorize the two class. One is a female student and the other one is a male student. So no need to classify the more data. So at the time I'm using the homogeneous nature of data. So based on the feature I'm got to the point. So I'm having the impurity. But in the case of I don't have the more impurity on the my data right now. But at the next level, in the other end, so in the other example, I'm classify the student based on their subjects specialization, maybe the based on the course specialization. So in the I found there are the 50 students who belong to the cybersecurity specialization and 20 students belong to the MIM specialization. So, but in the 20 students who are MIM specialization and 50 students who are the cybersecurity specialization, but mix of the data we have in that 20 students as well as the 50 students. Based on the, I have to apply the next level, that is the gender. So I have to apply the next feature. I can filter my data. But at the first level, what we have been observed, I have been applied the specialization of the course on which I didn't say I have the pure data. So I have the mixed kind of the data. So I have the some impurity. That is the matter. Now clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the formula from this level, I'm telling the formula information gain. So how to calculate the information gain, we have to understand properly. So information gain is just nothing which describe the, you have to describe the minus 1. So 1 minus entropy. So before doing anything, you have to calculate the entropy. Let us understand all these things with the step by step, so the calculation will be more clear. So this is just assumption of the data we are taking for explaining purpose only, nothing else. So let us understand these things with the help of the proper example. So the idea, the picture will be clear to all in simple way. Okay, so consider this node as an example. This is our node. Okay, so here how many percentage we have those who want to play, those who do not want to play. Can anyone tell me right now? Is easily say we have the mixed kind of data where we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positive and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positive and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and negative we have. It means negative data we have and positive data we have 6 times. So total we have the 50% student who want to play and 50% student who do not want to play the cricket. So the who play the cricket is 50%. So 50% we have, and those who don't want to play, we have the 50%. And the percentage of students who don't want to play the also 50%. Now, having seen the data, is it easy clear? Now, tell me right now, is it clear to right now? The question is clear?
Yes, sir.
So at the first level, what we have calculated, its probability. Is it clear? Without knowing the probability, can you calculate the entropy? No. So first we have calculated the probability, and thus finally we have to apply all the steps step by step. We will see. Let us move to the next step. Now, if I use the formula to calculate the entropy, so what would be my formula? 0.25 into the log base 2.25 minus 0.25 into the log 2.25. This is what and this is what. This is we have used for the not play. Those who do not want to play, I've used this value over here. And those who want to play, so this is the value which is determined by the play part. This is the probability part of the play. So you can see, observe over here, what is written over here. It's very simple statement is written over here. The percentage of the play class is 0.5 multiplied by the log base of the 2 by the 0.5 and base of the 2 minus the percent of the do not play, and which is the 0.5 multiplied by the log of the 0.5 base is 2. Since the log of the base 2 is base of the 2 is 1, so minus 1. So the ultimately what we are getting the entropy of this value, that is the 1. That would be the 1. We are getting the ultimate value, we are getting the 1. rather than mixed kind of the data we have, we can also suppose we have the same kind of the data. It means no classification is required. Just listen, no classification is required. So, but let us calculate its entropy. We can see the data as a manually I can see, but system is required to calculate all these things. So, if I'm using the calculation entropy, here no percentage for the playing part we have, and do not play we have the 1, because what even 1 means 100%. So put this value and entropy will be the 0. So definitely what we are getting information gain here would be the 1 minus 0 means information gain we are getting the 100%. That is my point. So having seen these two kind of the part is clear to all right now. I can divide this part by the two parts so the thing will be clear. Tell me right now, is it clear to right now so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So first we have to calculate the entropy. So we have calculated the entropy. So steps to calculate the entropy for the split. We first calculate the entropy of a parent node, because we don't have the single label, we can have the many labels. So at each and every label, you have to calculate the entropy of the parent node, and then calculate the entropy of the each child. This is the again we have to do. And finally, we will calculate the weighted average. So first we calculate the entropy of the parent. So I can highlight this point, entropy of the parent node. And then we have to calculate the entropy of the child node. And then we have to calculate the weighted average entropy. There's a simple formula, I will tell you, no issue. With help of the weighted average entropy, you can calculate. There is a formula by which you can calculate. So this is the 3 steps we have to apply as a recursively, and then after you can use the information gain. So before getting the information gain, first you have to calculate the parent node entropy, then child node entropy, and then you have to calculate the weighted average entropy. So steps to calculate the entropy for the splitting purpose, we have to keep in mind all these steps. Now we have seen the what is mean by the entropy and how to calculate the entropy. Now, is it clear to all right now so far? So entropy means we are trying to find the impurity or uncertainty in our data. So at each every level, we have to calculate the first entropy, and then at the last, we have to calculate the information gain. So before getting the information gain, let us determine the entropy. Now, is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us use this point. So we have the two parts. First one, we have this data set. So I can write over here for betterment. This is our data set. Okay, this is our data set. I can write over here. This is our data set. Based on the above average, I am having this data. Based on the above average, I am having this data. So I'm choosing the average features. Okay, so I'm choosing the feature. My feature name is average. So average would be my feature. That is my feature at the root node. At the root node. Okay, so I'm using the above average. The student will come into the left side. The student who are having the below average, they have to come inside the right side. So splitting on the student based on the performance in the class. That is our simple point. So we have this point right now first. Splitting on the performance in the class we are doing. Okay, now I'm not talking about this point right now. First, I'm talking about the first part. The question is clear? What we have to do? Yes. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
good. So let us start the student performance in the class. This is the split we got based on the performance, and that you are very familiar in this way. So total students we have the 20, and those who want to play the cricket, so we have the 10. Okay. Those who want to play the game, 10, and those who don't want to play the game, we have the 10. So percentage of the probability of each and every level, we have the 0.5. So this is the data which belong to the, just I can write over here for a betterment. So as This is the information which is used to measure the entropy at this level. Okay, now clear right now? Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Step by step I'm speaking. Okay, so I'm just highlighting this by this color. This data will be used at the root level or root node to determine the entropy at the parent node. Now, after based on the average of performance of the average in the class, I have categorized my data two part. So this data, I'm choosing different color for a betterment. This data. So in this case, what we have the total 14 students. Okay, so you can easily calculate plus minus total. You can calculate that would be the 14. And those who want to play, so play we can say we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So plus symbol is saying to us we have the play. How many students want to play? 8 people. So play cricket we have the 8 people or 8 students, and those who do not want to play the game, so we have the 6. So 8 plus 6 would be the 14. So we have got this point. And what is the probability of the playing? 0.57. And what is the probability of the not playing the game? 0.43. Now tell me right now, is it clear to all right now? Any doubts so far?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Now I'm choosing another color to more clarify and explain the concept. Now below average, those who are the below average in the class performance, so I have to categorize my student to determine they want to play the game or they do not want to play game. So in this case, I have the total student, we have the 6 students. So those who want to play, we have the 2, and those who do not want to play, we have the 4. So the percentage of the probability would be the 0.33, and not playing we have the 0.67. So this is the probability. So my dear all those students, please keep in mind, this is the first data which is marked by me in the circle and following by the sky blue color that defines to use two data for calculating entropy at the parent node. And the yellow color and green color data which is used to calculate the entropy at the child level. Now my statement is clear to all right now. Tell me my statement is clear?
Yes, sir.
So as per this splitting part, what we have definition, we first calculate the entropy of the parent node and then calculate the entropy of the child node, and then we have to calculate the weighted average entropy. And then after that, we have to subtract one, and then we can understand what is the information gain. So before getting the information gain, it is not easy task. We have to understand the problem, we have to solve the problem. So by using these data, after calculating this part, let us understand the thing properly. I hope this slide is visible to all, which contain the entropy values of the parents. Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
So I am not speaking the English statement written over here. I am talking about the formula. Just apply the value and see what you are getting. So entropy of the parent node, my dear student, you can easily check over here by applying the formula minus summation of the p into log p. You can get the 1. Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Just put the value into the entropy formula. We can get it this one value. Now we need to calculate the entropy of the above average. We need to calculate the entropy of the above average. So what you are getting? What is the value? 0.57 and 0.43. These are the two probabilities we have. So just put the value, then you can get the 0.98. It is clear to all right now. Tell me, is it clear?
Yes.
Till now, any doubt to understand the calculate of the entropy in this example? Till now, any doubt?
So, sir.
Okay. So unlike the above average, you have to calculate the below average part. So below average, that is our child node. We have to calculate. So we have to calculate. So what we are getting 0.91, where the probability was 0.33 and 0.67. So far, any doubt? Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So far, any doubt? So far, you have. So please, you can ask me. Else, else I can tell you how to calculate the weighted entropy.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So now, finally, we have to calculate the weighted entropy. We have to calculate the weighted entropy. So weighted entropy for splitting the performance of the class. So weighted entropy in the performing the class we can calculate. It's very simple. In the weighted average, weighted entropy. So weighted entropy will be calculated by the our child node. So total we have the 14 and total we have the 6. So the weighted entropy will be calculated like the simple formula. I can speak over here. 14 divided by the 20. Okay, so why I'm dividing the 20? Because 14 children or 14 students were the part of the left side. So out of the 20, because 20 were defined by the our parent node. So 14 divided by 20 multiplied by the its entropy value. So what is its entropy value? Its entropy value was 0.98 plus 6 on the move to the right side. 6 divided by 20 into its entropy, that is a 0.91. Yes, this is the main value. So just put these values and we got the weighted entropy. So weighted entropy is coming from these two parts. 14 divided by 20 multiplied by the entropy of the entropy value of this node. And now plus what we have done, plus entropy value we have to multiply by the 6 divided by 20. And ultimate what we can get? We can get the value that is 0.595. Now is it clear how we are getting the entropy, weighted entropy?
Yes, sir.
And suppose we have the 3. Suppose here we have the two children only. Suppose we have the 3 children, then of course we have to calculate the entropy of the third child as well. And just while calculating the weighted entropy, just plus add 1 and do the appropriate calculation, then you will get the weighted entropy. Now, is it clear to all right now how we are getting the entropy and how we are getting the weighted entropy? Is it clear to all right now?
So, sir,
Yes.
in general means we can say weighted entropy is equal to summation of sample of child upon sample of parents into E of child.
Yes, you can see.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's very simple mathematics formula we are putting. So you can transform such into the formula. You can focus. You can. So after calculating the weighted entropy, now the performance in the class entropy will be around 0.59. We have calculated. So this is the performance of the class. This is the entropy we have calculated performance in the class entropy. That is the 0.959. So here we can see that the weighted entropy is lower than the entropy of the parents. What is the entropy of the parent? 1. What was the entropy of the parent? That is 1. So you can easily say 0.59 is a smaller value than our parent node entropy, that is the 1. So parent node is 1, so weighted entropy is 0.95. So we can say the returning more pure node compared to the parent node. So here we have to do more split if it is required. So definitely we have to understand. So that this is the way why we have calculated this point. Same approaches we are applying to our next part, that is the splitting the class based on their class, what they belong to. They belong to the class 10 or class 9. So based on their class 9 or class 10, we can split our data as well. So here we have the 2 different kind of data. So let us see this one. So similarly, we can calculate the entropy for the splitting on the class. Same behavior applied. So the split on the class we have done. So this is all the data we have based on our class. So some students belong to the 9th class or some students belong to the 10th class. So based on their class, we can easily bifurcate or divide our data. So here we have the total student 20. But we found that here we have the 10 students those belong to the 9th standard class, and here 10 students also belong to the 10th standard class. So what they are getting, the parent node we are getting the entropy 1, but 9th standard class we are getting the entropy 0.722, and how we are getting, as we know, and now what is the 10th standard entropy we are getting 0.722. So weighted entropy would be, because we are getting the same value, so it would be the weighted average, weighted entropy or weighted average entropy. Sometimes it is known as the weighted average entropy. We are getting the 0.722. 0.722. Now, is it required to tell the all the calculation over here, or is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir,
Same process we have been applied. So what is the summary? Summary is saying to us, here we have calculated all the values. So I advise you to calculate them on your work and take a pen and paper. I told you before starting the class, take a paper pen, and plug in these values into the formula and compare it with all the results. You can easily check. So ultimate, what is our objective? What is our aim? First, we need to calculate the entropy. Then we have to calculate the information gain to decide which attribute would be better to select our best attribute. And that is the first step of our ID3 algorithm. First step is more important algorithm, which is required to the everything properly. And after that, rest of the steps are very easy. But first step is more important steps. Now, so what is written over here? So I'm speaking here. The weighted entropy for the split on the class variable comes out as 7.22. Now we will compare the entropy of these two split, which are the 0.59 for the performance of the class. You can easily check. This one we have already calculated, and this one we have the our calculated part we have seen. So 0.722 the entropy we are getting. So information gain is calculated by the 1 minus entropy. This is the point. This table is visible to all right now. This table is visible. This table is visible, which defines the information. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yes.
So yeah, good. So what is the formula of the information gain? 1 minus entropy. So finally we got the entropy in the performance of the class, that was 0.959. So every information gain we are getting 0.041, which are too less. But in the case of the class performance base, not the performance class, we are based on the class, we got the entropy 0.722. So we are getting the information gain, that is 0.278. So here we have the two features. What are those features? We can split our data by the two way, either by the performance in the class or either by the based on their class standard, 9th or 10th standard. So which feature I must choose to divide my data into the split. So having seen the result of this table, inside the table, we can say the performance in the class variable information gain is very less, that is 0.041, and the class variable edge is 0.278, and lesser entropy or higher information gain leads to more homogeneity or purity of the data. This is the most important statement. Lesser entropy or higher information gain leads to more homogeneity or the purity of the data. It means almost all data are the same in the same class, so no need to use such features for the splitting our data. But in the class that is a class standard 9th and 10th was a part of, which defined the entropy 0.722, from which we are getting the information gain 0.278, by which we are getting, this is not very close to the 0. So we can say this would be used to split our data. So we are choosing the which feature? Class. That is. So splitting can be done by these two features. What are those features? Performance in the class and class standard. So class standard would be our features to split our data. That is our steps. Now, is it clear right now? This calculation, everything is clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
And this kind of exam may ask me the question into the examination. You have to understand the question, you have to solve the problem.